Just talk a little bit about the feel in the locker room, the young locker room after finally breaking the streak like that.
I mean, it's a great feeling, obviously, to be in the win column, to share the ball, to play well, to really taste victory for a change. And we were so close. We felt we were right there, regardless of the team we were playing. It didn't matter. We've given ourselves an opportunity, and we'd had some games where we didn't give ourselves an opportunity. But to be able to put together 4 quarters is a great feeling and a great building block. And I mean, we still had some things that we didn't do well, obviously, but we were able to look past it and continue to play. And that's kind of the most important thing right now, more so than who we're playing. Whoever gives us whatever opportunity we can take advantage of, we need to take advantage of it. And I think because of the close losses and the blowout, we learned from those, which has given us an opportunity to win tonight.
Coach talked about some of the style of play a little bit. How do you take away from a win since a loss?
To really nitpick at some of the things we didn't do well. I think that's what we need to take away from, because it's easy to feel good right now, but easily sweep under the rug the things that we did not do well. And I think for us is building on leads. We tend to work like heck to get a nice lead, and we're content. And we get a little sloppy on both ends of the floor, and you can't allow a team like that still plays hard to have a life and chance, because when you're playing against a good team and you're on top of them, you need to beat them down and continue to grow the lead. So those are the things that we need to learn, and I'm sure that's something we're going to talk about.
Second unit went on a run there in the third quarter that culminated with that right wing 3 from you. What was, I guess, what kind of fueled that run for you guys?
Ball movement, obviously our energy and effort. We just wanted to kind of get out defensively and just stay active. They move the ball. They do a lot of body movement. So for us, it's our communication. I think we got a lot of deflection, got out in transition, and the ball moved when we felt there were 2 on the ball, and it found the open guy. We knocked down some shots tonight.
Have you at any point in your career been a part of like a 10?
You're making me think, man. Stop.
A 10-game lose or anything
Probably.
that felt like it was close to that?
I'm sure. Yeah.
How, did you say anything particular to the guys in regards to keeping them confident?
It's just the next game mentality, which is hard to do. It's easier said than done, because it's just like, all right, the next one. Because I think when you're in these situations and you have multiple losses in a row, it's hard to kind of motivate to move on to the next game and bring the energy as if we're 3-0. It's hard to do, and we felt tonight was an opportunity, catching the team on a back-to-back. If we hit first and established ourselves early, good things can happen. And once we establish the lead, maintaining is something we haven't done. So I just think, our veteran group, once we establish the lead, we just continue to nitpick, push the lead a little higher. I mean, we haven't been in a situation all year where we were up 20, up 25. So it was something. It was a good feeling, but it's a learning tool for us to say, when you get into the situation, push the lead to the next level, i.e. what Houston did to us. They didn't give us a chance. They didn't give us any life, and that's kind of what we need to learn. So being on both ends of that situation within 1 or 2 games is good for us, so we can kind of feel the good and understand what the bad feels like, and understand how we have to play to be a good team. I mean, we still have an opportunity to be in the playoffs. So with that being said, we can have to continue to learn from our mistakes when we win. You don't want. It's tough when you're losing, but it's easier to kind of point out our faults and our mishaps when we're winning. So hopefully we can get a little streak going.
I know it's kind of hard to really guarantee anything, but if you feel really good about something you can see from this team on Wednesday, what would that mean?
Well,
even based off of tonight.
Well, that's defensively, our communication. I mean, just things are just starting to make sense for us. And when you play the next game, you have something to build off of positively, like ball movement. Our ball movement was great tonight with our first and second unit, which hasn't been great for us. Sometimes it sticks, and naturally we have a lot of guys who can get it done. But right now, when you're losing, you kind of have to do a little more. And I think guys did a little more tonight. Give a little more effort on the defensive end, making a conscious effort of letting the ball find the open guy. And what it did is just open a lot of opportunities for everyone. So that good feeling hopefully becomes contagious, and we understand how to play, whether it's a great defensive team, a subpar defensive team, it shouldn't matter if the ball moves and finds open guy, because we're not going to always hit shots. But if the ball finds open guy, that's positive for us for moving on against good defensive teams.
Things we talked about at the beginning of the season, the farewell tour, the arenas that you've played in so far this season, have you been able to absorb it?
No, not really.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, just going through, the tough losses or big losses, like Houston, it was tough to enjoy it. I appreciate it, but, I'm so locked in on what's going on. The last two arenas, I didn't even realize we wasn't coming back to Indiana, and so it was just, it's one of those things I kind of appreciate as we're on the bus once I realize, and everything slows down, kind of recap the game and recap my evening. But I mean, I guess when I check in, standing ovation from opposing crowd is good enough for me. I tend not to look at the Jumbotron, I mean, just naturally. And so that's why I said I didn't know about what was said until somebody brought it to my attention. But I'm very thankful for it, and I'm very appreciative, and I try to acknowledge that. I'm not a big social media guy as far as tweeting out, but that's just my way of kind of showing my appreciation, because it's a cool moment, cool feeling. It's kind of hard to enjoy it when you're checking in the 6 minutes in the first quarter when they have to kind of worry about what's going on. So that makes it, I think when I said earlier about in the beginning of this season about emotional roller coaster, it's like one of those things like you want to show your appreciation, but you're kind of locked into the game. So that's why I feel like that's my way of kind of saying thank you afterwards, because of how I am when it's actually game time. I have friends all the time, it's like, hey, I was at the game trying to get your attention. I'm like, sorry, man, that's just what, my job is important to me. It's been important to me for so long, and nothing changed. So this is kind of tough to enjoy, but I enjoy it. I appreciate it at the same time.
Trae came into a night having played 100 games in his career, and the numbers that he's put together in 100 games are pretty absurd. As a person who's seen sort of the most basketball in the locker room, what do you see out of him?
His growth, his becoming comfortable. I think, I'm not going to say he's seen it all, but he's now starting to become familiar with the type of defenses he's going to see for a long time. And is figuring out how to do what he needs to do individually, but still getting the locker room involved in scoring and feeling good, because I think he's understanding, like, he's very important to our team, but he can't do it by himself. And he's now putting us in position to knock down shots and make the game easier for him, as he makes the game easier for us by putting us in position to score. And we just got to knock down shots. And like tonight, he got off the ball found the open guy. We started making shots where it took up some of the pressure off him, and they were in a double team still, but not so much where he could still beat the guy. So, things like that he can now add into his list of things he's seen and what works and what doesn't work, and how to approach it. Because it's going to take a couple of years being in his position, demanding the attention, and figuring out what works, because different things works against different teams, defensive teams, different defensive philosophy of coaches from the coaches. So he still has to figure that out, but I think this is a positive step for him.
How unique is it, like the number of blitzes and double teams that he sees? Like, is it pretty rare that it just seems like he gets an undue amount of defensive attention?
He's earned it with his ability to shoot the ball, his ability to pass the ball. And, I think that's why it's so important for him to just understand how to make plays for other guys and make defensive teams pay for doing so. I mean, that's kind of it's a tip the hat thing. I mean, it's kudos to you for this young age, demanding double teams, even in his first year. We were seeing it in him understanding how to handle it. It was tough. And he's learning, and now he's putting us in places where he wants us to be when he sees these double teams and where we should be or where he thinks we should be. I look at that, and, he was telling me today where he wanted me to be. It's funny. It's like a lot playing with Jay Kidd or playing with Steve Nash or Mark Jackson, guys that I played with who sees the game before it happened, or now has a vision of what they think can break down a team. He's becoming that because he's more comfortable with double teams. So seeing it his first year is a good thing. Now he's understanding how to break it down. I mean, he's putting the ball on time, on target, where we were just getting open shots. Now we have to make shots, but he has to continue to trust and believe that we'll make plays for him early in the game for him to kind of be the Trae Young we all know and love in the second half, which that's when stars are stars.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Hey NBA fans, Kelly McGill here. If you like that last video from Fanatics View on YouTube, be sure to subscribe down below for exclusive NBA content.